as we are recording this is January 2026, and as of the 1st of this month, you have new things that are entering the public domain. So, one of the films is Whoopee from 1930 is entering the public domain, so we can show everything. I selected it from the long list from Wikipedia because it also is the first fully color film from Hollywood. I don't know if any other countries made a fully color film, but 1930, that's very early. It is a 2-track Technicolor. I don't know. It has colors. It's very nice. I would like to see a better reconstruction, because now you can also make the colors pop a little bit more. All the colors are very pastel, and that's, of course, they wouldn't have been actually pastel. They would have been whatever they were wearing. And I'm sure that they can deduce or find in records what the actual colors were and whether they were strong or dim or, you know. So I would like to see that. I would also like to see literally all of these old films remastered so that we get like good strong lines, we get clarity. I know that with AI it's possible. I can't say that I can do it myself, but you know, if people like me are thinking that maybe I should learn how to do this myself, then I'm sure that they can do this in film studios, because all I know is Da Vinci, and Da Vinci I'm sure can do a lot. So yes, it's tempting. But yeah, putting the colors in. I am maybe an unusual person that I enjoy colorized black and whites if it's done well. I enjoy like seeing the reimagining of it. I don't enjoy that it's usually like superimposed on the gray and you can tell it and it doesn't look good. That part I don't enjoy. But I would love to see all the old stuff in the colors as they were intended. I think that would be cool. And this film, they give you a lot to work with because they're actual colors. I didn't know Eddie Cantor. Apparently the Peanut Gallery knows Eddie Cantor. So he's very good. I was thinking at the beginning of this movie, is like, where is this going to go? Is this going to be a collection of scenes? But they had to establish several sets of characters and then go running with it. And once they start running with it, it's very clear that he is, and he plays Henry Williams, he is the main character of the film. Even though it's probably supposed to be her and him, and the her is Mary and Wanenis. The actor who plays Wanenis is Gregory, and he was clearly signed on for his physique and his voice. He can sing very nice. It's a good tenor voice. He's clearly, cultivated his voice, and he does the thing very, very well. Acting, you can do it. It's all right. That you can teach. And singing you can teach as well. But he's already bringing that to the table. But he turns out he's not the lead character. Which I think in a modern film he would have been the lead character, because it always has to be the younger, the guy who's going to get the girl has to be.
Yeah, but character. In 1930, Hollywood had the problem that they had to work with what they had, and the year before they didn't even need voice actors, and now they suddenly do. So.
He can sing.
They were very happy he can sing.
He can sing.
That's enough.
And that's most of the time that's what he's doing. I like the... so Ethel Shutta plays Mary. Mary Custer. So they call her Miss Custer, and that's very confusing for me every time I hear it. Because there's a whole storyline with Native Americans. So, but okay, I don't know if that was on purpose. I wouldn't have done that. It's a fictional name. You could have named her something else. But whatever. Her outfits, her hair, and it's 1930, so we're not even out of this pushing it all down and flibbling it up, little curls on the under your tiny little cap hat, And it's for real, because this is the stuff they were wearing. So I like it. It's contemporary. It's set in the now. It's not like we're pretending this is a century ago. We have a very interesting car. I was looking at the car. There's a very long scene with the car. And all of this, it was a play. It was a musical. So they did it on the stage. And so a lot of the scenes are quite static in their surrounding. They just, they set it somewhere and then just start doing it. I get the sense that they were just running through the scenes, and then if they had to reshoot stuff, they did it. It's not all one camera though, so there must have been several takes, because I would imagine they didn't have multiples of these color cameras. Yeah, but the car is enormous, like enormous. And I don't know, cars from 1930, were they enormous?
Yes,
they were enormous.
Yes.
It's so large. He walks past the back wheel of the car, and the thing is, I think, to here on him. Okay. It's kind of like a tractor, but pushed down with like two benches and things.
Yeah, and when you're sitting, you are at height level of the person standing outside of the car.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2 steps up into the car. He has to, like, help her up to the thing and all of that. And the back bench is so large that she doesn't stretch. She's going to go to sleep in the car. Very bad idea. She doesn't stretch out the bench like long-wise, no, short-wise, and she's comfortable. Well, it's film, so nobody cares if she's comfortable. But she's pretending to be comfortable, and there was enough space for her entire body to do that. So, I don't know. It's a very large car, so that was surprising. Several things. So diversity in this film. Lots of diversity. It is pre-code. Most of pre-code films, it says it's pre-code. Go to the Wikipedia page, it's got pre-code movie from 1931. This one doesn't say that. I don't know why, because there's a lot of stuff in here that we won't be seeing in the later 30s, the 40s, the 50s.
But the diversity is not something that went away with code, that just went away with convention. The code is about, is there too much crime in it? Is there too much sexual innuendo in it? That's what code is for.
There is sexual innuendo, but nothing that you wouldn't be able to. It's still a whole family thing. It's just that the innuendo is sort of like ahaha, and then those who want to think that can think that. There's a scene between Eddie Cantor, Henry, and I forget which one it is. It's a scene where they're admiring each other's operation scars. Now, this is definitely a gay subtext. This is definitely intended to be gay subtext. They are going. It's all a physical comedy, so they're crawling all over each other and then just pulling each other's top of their pants, looking and admiring. Of course, you can't see anything, and he says, "Yeah, it goes all the way down there," and it's like sticks his head even further in. And and then they're like on the floor. One is on top of the other one, and then on the floor again. The other one's on top of and then they sit back down on the chairs that they came from, and they're kind of like, "Oh, I need a cigarette." It is definitely intended for a gay subtext, gay innuendo,
and that would definitely went away with the code.
Yeah. I mean, I've only really seen it that much in Some Like It Hot when Jack Lemmon, he has a guy and then he says, all the things he tries to say, and that kind of, that's the first time I think later on
that's 1959.
I mean, that's seriously later on, and that they're starting to sort of poke holes in the Hays Code, which by the time they get to the late 60s and they want to make The Graduate, they're basically having to blow away the Hays Code. And that's about sex as well. This one is not so much about sex. It's got a lot of diversity in it. That our main guy immediately refers that he's been to Hebrew school. So that's not just I am Jewish, from the Jewish quarter. Is like, no, he went to Hebrew school, so he's practicing and then there's our buff guy with the beautiful voice, Wanenis. He is, first they say 1/8 Indian. Then they later are going, well, his great grandfather was. I'm calculating that that's not 1/8. That's 1/16.
Native American.
Native American, indigenous. So then in the film they call it Indian, obviously. And then later at the end, spoiler, we find out he isn't at all. Because immediately, of course, me with my 2026 brain is like, oh, I need to check whether this guy has some sort of mixed heritage. And no, because the plot was he wasn't. So they didn't have to organize that. But this guy was raised by his father, the chief, who is played by Black Eagle, who is a proper indigenous Native American. So, yay! So they did that right, which is interesting. No, there are no black people in this thing. But there is diversity in there, and the whole storyline is about Wanenis wants to marry Custer. Sorry, can't help it. And they can't. And that's literally where the story starts already. That has already happened. No, you can't marry her. She's now engaged to somebody else, and then she decides, and she's in her wedding dress. That's where, like, you get to see her with all the proper 1930, literally 1930 stop period, not 30s, 30 garb, all the proper fashion, all the things that they would want to put her in, they did. Also, you have this long thing at the end where it starts with the fashion show. Because in these old movies, there was always a fashion show. And this one, since it's already in color, we're doing it in color. And the whole thing is about sort of like Native American inspired clothing, fashion. It's not really a fashion show because it's clearly not intended to go on the market and be sold. But it is, they're doing an awful lot with feathers. And this is the only time I've ever seen women with the full feather thing, which I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if, I didn't look it up.
I do believe it's not a thing, but I've seen it in Hollywood. Yes, the ladies have the big feather things on the stage when they're doing a Native American number.
A big show number, and then they launch into a big show number. There's several big show numbers where, several show numbers where it's all about the chorus line. And you can tell they've been on the stage to do this. The chorus line is pretty good. I'd say the sync of the sound and the image were also very good, but you would expect that for anything you get off a DVD or a streaming service. Because, of course, it's all about the rhythm of the chorus line. They do the full chorus line where you get them around, go around in circles and then concentric circles, and then the camera starts to go from the top and you see people flop back and forth and you see all these patterns like a Busby Berkeley. Busby Berkeley. But it's not Busby Berkeley. It is, the director is Thornton Freeland. And I don't know if this is pre-Busby Berkeley.
Busby Berkeley very much did the style of the Art Deco, and so this 1930.
Is Art Deco.
Yes.
This is it. And it works, and it will work, and it is, the color helps, but just the visuals that it creates is already, it would have worked in black and white as well. And like I said, my druthers is I would love to have the colors to come out more. Just all this fake stuff. I never like it about some of the 50s films either that were made on poor... Yeah, it's a question. Poor color process.
It's a question of poor color process because they wanted the color. They wanted that color. What they had in the 50s, that they wanted that in the 30s as well.
Yeah, I mean, they worked hard to do color.
It's just the technique wasn't really there.
Yeah.
And it was very expensive. That's why they stopped doing it, because the result wasn't as vibrant as they had hoped, and it was very expensive.
Yeah. And we know the 1927 version used a one-color or two-color process for some of the scenes in the King of Kings. And that was just mind-blowing, because by the time you get to those scenes, well, the first scene is in color. And then you kind of forget, like, oh, there was a scene in color, and you're way into the film, and then you're like, whoa, suddenly we're back in color. And that does that thing that they did very well in The Wizard of Oz, where you get like, whoa, or the Secret Garden. You know, the moments where you go from black and white to color is just such a massive difference. So yay for the color, and I can't do anything other than applaud them for really, really going for it, because it's not a short movie. It's like more than 2 hours. So they decided to do everything. They even made like an extra song for this film, which they sometimes do, and I don't know if it needed it. Some of the songs we all know, like Whoopee and I forget what the other one is. So I'm watching this thing and I'm like totally into the story and it's great. And then a cooker explodes and Henry is in it. And when he comes out, he is fully blackface. And I just could not believe it. I was like, what is happening? And at this point, he's playing shenanigans with one party and another party. And so he's kind of like, he's already kind of gone undercover as the cook, as the chef. He can't cook. and now he is, I guess, more undercover? But no. And I'm like, surely they're going to wash it off him really soon now. No. So, like, that was... there was no point to it. And... no thanks.
I think it's maybe because this Eddie Cantor was a entertainer with a big E. And that blackface is part of entertainment in the 1930s. And you can see it in other movies that are about this period, but filmed later, but about this period. And when they go to this period and they're honest about it, they say, yes, this is part of this period. Therefore, you will see it here.
Mm-hmm.
And it just is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very... It's... So it takes at least 20 minutes before he's out of blackface again. And I'm like... So I was like really enjoying the film until that happened. And I was like, they have a story going. It goes from A to B, because some of these early films, and especially the musicals, they kind of like put some acts together and off you go, and maybe or maybe not, there's a story to it. This one had a story going, and I felt that Eddie Cantor was holding the space extremely well. And I had never heard of him, and I'm like, I understand now why he's the main guy in this film, even if he may not have been written as the main guy. It just works, and everybody else only needs to be okay in order to then make it work. And so, yeah, it's kind of like just close your eyes until he's out of blackface. And then they continue on, and that's when they start doing all the stuff with all the Native American costuming and things. Whether that is all okay, I can't say. I'm glad that Black Eagle was in it, and that he got to do it. It looks like from the IMDb entry that he didn't get to do anything else. Tja, that's a shame, because why not? They had plenty of roles for Native Americans. Might as well employ one. I really enjoyed it, apart from the glaring issue. And so, can I recommend it? I don't know. Does one recommend that?
If you put it in the perspective of history, it was. I mean, this is also part of history.
Yeah, for film students, you should definitely see it.
For history students.
Yeah, history. That's mainly what our perspective is. We're like film history, so I was gonna watch it either way. I think I would have liked to have gotten a heads up. So here's your heads up. And that it will go away is also okay. And that there's no point to it. I'm not sure if it would have been any better if there was a point to it. So, but it brings down, of course, from our perspective, and clearly relatively quickly afterwards from everybody else's perspective, is like, let's not do this. it brings it down, and that's a shame. I really applaud the rest of the diversity in the storytelling, and that's if it was a play. I mean, it was a play, and the play was called The Nervous Wreck. It was written by Owen Davis, and William Conselman did the screen adaptation. So I'm sure that they did a good job, and it worked. It had pacing, which with a play you often get pacing. So I would always recommend for these early films watch something with that was a play. I mean, every single time we're like, yeah, this is going. This has beat. This is working. And there's a lot of beautiful dancing, production numbers. They're all smaller than we're used to. There's all like the location. In the location, they're running up and down and they're twirling about and stuff. And that's fine. All this very modern, like La La Land and all this modern stuff. Even Gene Kelly, he was running from one location to another location, doing the same production number and all of that stuff. That's all much later. They couldn't do that at that time. I've never seen that in the 30s. You watched a lot more musicals from the 30s.
Yeah, the conclusion about especially film like this, and also Stormy Weather, and a whole bunch of any film from this point until 1945 is when it's like it's basically an excuse to put these acts on the screen somehow with some sort of storyline, but the acts are their own thing. And that's why they're sort of more contained, because they came straight off the stage and get plunked onto the film. That's it.
Yeah, and this film goes one step further and made it worthwhile going through the process of the color by taking a play. And then they added a song on, I think because Paul Gregory is such a fantastic singer. And they wanted to get everything out of Eddie Cantor, I'm sure, because I did read up on it after
after you discovered him.
After you said it was he's a big deal. It's like, okay, he's a big deal, and that's one thing I would have liked to have had a heads up, but you will find it on the Wikipedia page for him, is that he does the eye rolls. And with the Whoopee song, making Whoopee, and it's like, can we please not with the eye rolls? But that may be your speed. It's not my speed. I can't, I find it hard to look at that. But it was a thing he was doing, and he was known for it. So I'm not surprised. And I think what they really tried to do with this film, apart from the blackface BS, is they tried to give everybody something they could do and they were good at. And that works. So now you have a film where everybody can actually shine doing their own thing. Because it is a bunch of storylines and they all come together and they all get resolved again. So, and Wanenis and Mary Custer, Miss Custer, they end up together. It is all
happy
good.
End.
Yes, I do not mind spoiling a film that is so old that it is now out of copyright. So enjoy your public domain film. I would also say look at other public domain things, because there's certain something about we have now been given by posterity. We've been given these films, and they are now for everybody to use and enjoy. And that's a beautiful thing. So maybe somebody can sort of like make the colors better and just crisp it up a bit. So we can...
4K full color.
Yes, please. I would love that.
Dolby surround sound.
I think that should also be possible. And people are so good at these things. And people are doing it in their homes with like a nice, good setup. Give it a shot. Give it a try. Everybody did a good job. And fashion-wise, definitely something to look at as well. Fashion history. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.